Helps if I turn the sound on, doesn't it? Happy Saturday, everybody, here in the Midwest. All right, decided to pop my little window over there, and I want it over here, man. Like, don't be doing that to me. Dang. Actually, that's a really good segue into what I've been going through this week. Just like last minute. That sounded like a dog barking. I don't know if you heard that. It was just my chair squeaking on the floor. Maybe it was her barking. She just decided to come in here. Maybe she heard the chair um, squeaking. But hey, what? Yeah, it was her making the noise. You're good. You're good, Fluffy. Um, yeah. So this week, I'm really happy that it's a little cold out right now, but not super crazy cold, and it's going to get warm again because I mean, it's going to get pretty hot, around 90 in the next couple of days, Fahrenheit. And it's right now, I think it's, let's see what it is. It's a little chill out there. It's 54. It's going to go down to 38 tonight. And the reason I say, it's kind of good that this is happening. Hey, I just found out my furnace isn't working. Yeah. So I think a lot of guys, all right, that's enough. You're good. There's nobody here, sweetie. Anyway, other than you and me. All right. Anyway, so that's kind of like the greatest ending to the last 7 days. Yeah, for the day job, I ended up with some people in the hospital and trying to keep somebody out of jail, and amongst all the other stuff that goes on with everybody's lives. And it's kind of like, all right. I mean, I was telling somebody last night that Thursday night I got back from work, and it was, it was the typical time, like 5:30. Lo and behold, the minute I walked through that door having something to eat, I put my pajamas on and I went to bed, and I looked at the clock and it was just before 6 o'clock. I was so fried from just 3 days because we had a short work week this week, that we had Labor Day on Monday. So it was just crazy stressful. On top of that, um, uh, last weekend, it really kind of started off with discovering that the very expensive countertops we had put in, they're not the right size. So my stove won't go back in. I did end up getting the backsplash done, but the stove doesn't go in. So I still can't really use the oven. And so I went downstairs to do laundry, and it's like it's really damp and it smells like the a lint trap, and discovered that the back of the dryer had gotten disconnected from the vent hose. So I had to fix that. And I was waiting to hear back from the plumber because spending big bucks to get everything reconnected, there was a leak under the sink. Plumbers aren't cheap. So I had to arrange to get them back in. So yeah, it's been nuts as far as one thing right after the other just happening. So this morning I decided I was going to go and just buy a coffee, even though I had one of my own. And the lady who's helping me with the business planning had recommended this one young woman. Her name, I remember her last name is Cameron because that's one of my kids' middle names. The dog is really harassing me for some reason. Um, I don't remember her first name. Kathleen Cameron. So she's a very successful manifester. And one of the things I know I was talking about before is sorry, the dog is really pushing. So one of the things that she had talked about before was this whole idea of triggers and being triggered is not a bad thing. And I know I've mentioned something like that before, but not so much in the same way. And they really are. Triggers are a catalyst for growth. So yeah, I'm gonna say I got triggered a few times this week. It's like, what? So now today I just kind of like one more thing. All right, we'll make the call. We'll send an email, whatever we got to do to get somebody out here. Cause I had somebody come out here and work on stuff. So I guess that was like a big part of this week. And it's part of like a learning curve. And that's what I think the triggers help us do is get through where our little shadowy bits in our character are still hiding. It blows the dust away, lights it up. And it also should help us expand on a little bit of those limiting beliefs. So that when I was running through that this morning, because all of this is coming to me this morning, is that it kind of looks like that it's a limiting belief system. When we get triggered, it's because we have certain expectations, we're hanging on to things too tightly, or we've been distracted by other things that we didn't see this coming. Oh yeah, I still have to get my car fixed. It's probably not going to be a big deal, only like suspension and that kind of thing. But the limiting beliefs, in order for you to see them, sometimes you can kind of stop, do whatever you need to do to kind of identify what those are, whether there's something tangible or something that's like in your head. And beliefs are in your head, but it's really triggered by an external source, whether it's another person or an event or thing or whatever. So, excuse me. This is what this lady went through, Kathleen Cameron. She went through and said something about journaling your thoughts, examining your thoughts, speaking them out loud, writing them, when you're journaling them, writing them down. But then it came to me that a lot of times that we end up having these repeat cycles is that you keep repeating something and you're not able, it's like, isn't that like the definition of insanity? Yeah, it's great if that helps. When you start, and it's not a roadblock, we're still moving, we're just not going anywhere. So this whole idea of the limiting beliefs, the triggers, and all of this kind of reminded me of reaching out to someone else. And you have to be careful with that because you want to be able to have things be brought to your attention in a way that you're going to be able to accept what's going on. And because I have to say accept, because if you don't, you're going to reject, even though it might be valid. So if you have somebody that you can talk to that's going to support you and help you truly examine that, that's great. If you don't, and it's kind of like, why didn't I think about this before? But that's what I basically do as a coach. And I really hate that word. It's almost like more mentoring. It's more mentoring than coaching. I think coaching has a tendency to be almost restrictive sounding, and it shouldn't be. But the reason I say that you need to reach out if you have that cycle is in repeat, rinse, wash, repeat, rinse, and you're getting the same result and it's not an improved result, then possibly reaching out to someone like myself could be helpful, because, even though you like to fix it yourself, reaching out to someone else for that help is almost like, it should be like holding up a mirror. Okay. Holding up that mirror, because you can't always do that for yourself. Hey, AZ. Oh, crap. Yeah, crap on furnace started at beginning. Yeah. So yeah, the furnace, yeah, everything is, this is like a bumpy road week. I don't know why, but that's okay. Like I said, triggers, resolving those, and it's going to be, when you're reaching out to somebody, it should be like a mirror. So you should be able to see yourself in a different angle, a different light, because people aren't going to see what you see within yourself. And it's like having that poppy seed in your teeth, or the spinach or whatever. You can't see it. And they're going to sit there and go, it's right there. No, it's to the left. And you have to go through that process. And yeah, I think that was kind of the way I was going. It's 12:12 p.m. here in Michigan. Yeah, limiting beliefs, blah, 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 blah. And it also has to come with transparency. Transparency about yourself first. And if you're not going to be honest with yourself, how can you be honest with other people? And transparency is going to be whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not. This is going to be something that we're going to all have to deal with. I mentioned it before. I think it was last week, that this whole thing about, people are going to see through games, whether it's mind games, whether it's sensationalism, that you try and capture a certain attention of a group. And that's, because we got a lot of political stuff going on. We've got a lot of local stuff going on. I got things going on where, yeah, it's just I'm just going to say locally, within your family, and feeling very much not part of certain groups anymore. I think that's shifting too. So we're almost like reforming some of those soul tribe members, and the people that we're going to be able to rely on. And that's something that I pride myself on, that I'm hopefully somebody that you can rely on. Keeping in mind that sometimes not responding because maybe you're paying attention to what you need to pay attention to can look to other people like you are not. So we have to, like, if I sent somebody a text and they don't respond to me, I'm not going to, I think I have enough emotional maturity to understand that they have other things that they have to do. That's just the way it is. We all have these different things that we do in different aspects, and we have different ways that we interact with different people. I don't know. That sounds like it's getting a little vague, but I think that kind of gets the point. I have no idea why that's on my phone. I don't even watch that for, so I need to kind of go away. And today is my brother's birthday. Happy birthday, bro. Yesterday was my mom's birthday. My mom has been gone as of, I believe, the 30th of September. My mom passed away 20 years ago, 30th of September. And I think she's doing probably a whole heck of a lot better now than with the experiences she had here. She had it rough. She was amazing. But anyway, I think that was it. It was all about the inner knowing and being honest with yourself, being honest with other people, being transparent with other people, being a real person as opposed to trying to put up a facade. There was someone I met a couple of years ago online through a chat group, and they ended up needing some help. So I helped them out. And they ended up coming back after I met them face to face. They ended up coming back on into the chat and said, "Yep, Deb's the real deal." Because I'm transparent. I kind of feel like I used to say the queen, even the queen puts on, you know, actually I didn't. I used to say even the queen farts to be, yeah, I'm crude. So, but the thing is now she probably farts dust. Sorry if somebody's offended, but I'm not. Um, happy birthday, mom and bro. Yeah. Um, but yeah, thank you, AZ. So yeah, that's kind of what's been going on this week. It's been, I can't say it's been hell week. The place I used to work at, I'd walk in the office and I'd see a therapist walk by and say, "Hey, how you doing?" And he goes, "Welcome to hell." So it's like, okay, that's not exactly the best way to start your day off, but whatever. You know, we can't all have that positive, stuffy, fluffy light. I don't care. And the nurse I used to talk to because it was very stressful. It was at a residential for substance abuse. People were trying to get help, and it was really rough there too. But we would talk about, well, it doesn't work that way, whatever it was, a procedure or something. And I said, well, really, what should happen is, or she would say, well, really, things should happen or happen in this order. And we would kind of look at each other, go, yeah, in the land of leprechauns and unicorns. And we came up with the whole thing of, yeah, and my unicorn farts rainbows and diamonds. Which I should get that picture. I should find that picture. My son drew a picture that kind of embodies that. Anyway, keeping a good face on it, and I'm not going to turn the camera off and go sobbing somewhere. Definitely not, because it is. This is a good way to learn how to see the good. I might meet some really cool, more really cool people by going through these different things that might inspire me to go somewhere or do something, which I probably am. I'm going to, you know, put my coat on. I didn't realize it was that cold out. Man, I must have been nuts just going out with a sweater. I didn't get out of the car though. I just drove down and got a coffee. Um, but anyway, maybe part of the reason why I'm kind of excited is I'm going to share my screen. I can figure out how to do this dang Skippy thing. So the screen I want to share is I'm gonna be doing two things. One of the things is I will be doing, excuse me, I'm going to be attending. Hopefully you guys can see that, right? Not sure. Because everything just flipped on me. There it goes. It looks like it's dark. There we go. All right, so now I can see it on my screen. It just took a minute. So yeah, Michigan UFO contact. I have interviewed none of these people, but it's near where Deb and RJ DeRus, I apologize if I mispronounced their last name. I've interviewed them before from their channel, but this is about an hour from where I live, and I could not miss going to this. It looked really interesting. I personally have no memory of any kind of contact directly that most people relate to as a contact, but it's always possible, that whole regression thing. I think we need to be careful with that. The other thing that I'm going to be attending, and I'm going to be doing readings and other things on, is I'll be one of the, what do you call it? Vendor. I'll be a vendor at this event. And this is Mary Bassett. She does regressions. And I really thought it was cool. Look at that building. Yeah. So it was a hospital for 40 years and they've renovated it into a B&B. What's cool about it is they have obviously some paranormal experiences in this hospital. Now a B&B. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to stay later. It's like an hour and a half from my house. So this is a little bit further, but man, it sounds like fun. I love architecture and this is just right up my alley. That old stuff where my day job is in an area called Old Town, and they have some of the most amazing churches. I think there's churches, three of them, and they're stunning. I know they've covered a lot of that stuff up. The other thing I wanted to say is that, again, I'm going to have my website posted, and it is up and running. So when you click on that, it no longer should say in development or under construction or whatever I was putting it on there before. But it's a pretty cool website. Thank you very much, Wendy, with Indigo Doors homepage. There's a little bit about me. That's an old picture. That house, see that blue house? That's actually for sale right now. It has some of my services available. So intuitive readings, life coaching, and I can do the BQH. The other thing I wanted to kind of, I don't have it posted or anything like that, but I really would love to do like a hybrid offering, because I feel like the beyond quantum healing is really cool and very effective, but it's so long. It's like 3 to 5 hours. That's like a huge investment. And there's a lot of preparation on my part because I'm going to be honest, I have a lot of Virgo in me. So yeah, perfection is the enemy. I really would like to do a hybrid version of all of these things. Not so much it's coaching, and it's because it's not just about this life, it's about the intuitive life coaching that dips into the quantum realm. And I really feel like that there's not going to be anybody who has anything like this or does things anything like this. It's very, very different. I think Wendy did an absolutely beautiful job. I'm going to put Wendy's website in the description below. Also, she's on Facebook. She's also does artwork, intuitive artwork. She gets downloads quite a bit. But yeah, so here we go. Yeah, Beyond Quantum Healing Power Session. So yeah, it's like a lot. It's like a lot. It's a lot of time invested. I don't have any events up. I only have a few things in the shop. I have like a bazillion projects in the basement right now because I'm going to be selling a lot of that stuff in the in Eaton Rapids at the B&B. I'm going to start my blog up too. And then there's contact information. I did want to point out that the hours are not correct, so we got to fix those. And I'm going to post the correct hours because I work 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. That's basically what I do. Eventually, that will hopefully flip at some point, that I will be doing this full time. I don't know how long that's going to take. That's up to the universe to determine. I'm not going to put timelines on anything at this point, not anything I'm willing to share anyway. But yeah, things are like really exciting right now. I love the website. Got a lot of really good ideas. I'm probably going to start doing classes, but it's going to be whatever it is that you can, it's, she wants me to teach down there too about cymatics, because it's something that I've really been kind of working on in the background. And because I'm so detail oriented, you can kind of I get caught up on the analysis paralysis thing. So anyway, that's kind of what I have going on right now. So I'm going to basically end the YouTube portion, and I'll probably do some intuitive stuff after I stop the live stream. Now I'm going to start recording because I've been sitting here for probably 45 minutes anyway. There we go. There you go. All right, so then I'm gonna blend this portion into the YouTube portion, and the full version is going to be put out on Rumble for sure. It's going to be a higher quality. BitChute really limits the amount that you can, the bits you can put on there for the size of the thingy dingy. Anyway, yeah, it is a scary looking building, but not really. I love that architecture. I love the really old stuff. Yeah. There might be something shadowy, but nothing is dark. Anyway, love y'all. Blessings. Thanks for your likes, shares, and subscribes, all your comments. They've been really helpful. I've been getting some emails, so that's cool too. So hey, you guys, I am going to end the live stream here on YouTube, and I will see y'all